Welcome to this quick guide on mastering SQL queries and T-SQL. In last episode, we talked about where clause, operators in SQL, keywords like, between, and in. We also talked about wildcard characters used along with like and select statements. In this episode, I am going to explain functions in SQL. We will be learning all types of functions, that is the string function, number function, date and time function, and advanced function, and their uses and applicability with SQL statements. At the end of this video, you would be able to use all SQL functions along with your SQL queries to write efficient data retrieval. So let's get started. We are mainly going to explore 4 types of functions in SQL. The first function type is string functions. The second is number function, date function, and advanced function. String functions are those functions which can perform some operations on strings. For example, if you have something called len, length, which will return the length of the string that you supply. Likewise, lower, upper, format, difference, and so many others, right? So if you are talking about number functions, those functions which perform activities or actions or operations on numbers. For example, if you have something called abs that gives you the absolute value. Likewise, we have floor, we have ceiling. There are other kind of functions also I have included, which also called they are also called as aggregate function. For example, count, average, sum. These are, but I have categorized those all in this number because they mainly perform activities and actions on numbers. The third category is date function. These kind of functions are mainly related to dates. For example, if you have something called diff, which will find the difference of 2 dates that you supplied. Make sense? And the last is the advanced functions. These functions are those which are basically kind of advanced functions. For example, if you have coalesce, which basically if you are querying and then you have some null data and you want that if you encounter any null values, then instead of that null, something else needs to be treated and displayed. So you can use coalesce. We have cast and others. So these all functions will be seen in action in just a moment. Let me take you to the SQL Server Management Studio to see these all in action. I am in SQL Server Management Studio and I have written almost all the queries for you in order to save our time. First string function is ASCII, which gives you the ASCII value of supplied character. So you see that I have supplied A and it gives 97. Every character in computer has got ASCII values, like a small a has 97 and capital A has got 65. Likewise, this is called as American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And there is a difference. The opposite of ASCII is char. Char will give you the character value based on the ASCII that's supplied. So I'm supplying 97 and it gives A. The third is concate, which basically concates multiple strings that you give. So I am going to take the resident names and I'm going to concatenate a resident name from resident table and with this string and the email. You see how the output is getting shown here. You see the output. Amit Sinha and email is amitsinha@gmail.com. So you can manipulate. So Amit Sinha and email is his email all are got concatenated here. Char index will get the position of substring. Let's say I want to see the position of A in the resident name, so it will show me the position of A. So let's see, A in Amit Sinha is at position 1. A in Rajkumar Verma is at position 2. Make sense? Next is concate WS. So you can concatenate multiple strings together with the WS piece with separator. So I'm going to utilize this dot separator among these all. So you can see there Amit Sinha and then dot and then and the email. So you have multiple strings we can concatenate along with dot. So you can change this anytime with this particular character and concatenate. So you see that all get concatenated with hash sign. Make sense? Data length basically gives you the number of bytes that is used. So I have given something called in Chinese ni hao, which is Chinese of hello. So see how many bytes that it contains. So it gives you the number of bytes, 2 bytes and 2 bytes. Soundex. So difference is basically it gives you the more approximate matching word. So this is going to be very useful in your practical examples. So I'm going to basically compare rum and rum, and if I'm going to compare rum and rum, so it should give you the answer as 4, because 4 means it is a strong similar. But if I'm going to give you rum with ram, so let us see what answer I'm getting. I'm getting 4 again. But if I'm saying, let's say, dam, so let's see what answer that it gives. It gives 3. That is, it is less approximate. Left will give you the number of characters from the left side. So I'm going to display 2 letters from the left of every name. So Amit AM, Rajkumar RA. So it shows like this. And likewise, we have right. Lowercase basically converts everything that you supply into lowercase. You see, this is Amit Sinha, and likewise we have uppercase as well. So lower and upper can be used. Ltrim basically does what? It trims the left side spaces, and rtrim will trim the right side spaces. So if I'm running this, you see this, the left side spaces from some text, because there were some spaces here, this has been trimmed, and some text has got much space here left side, and right side also has got some, and I'm trimming it, so that's why it is trimming from right side but not trimming from left side. We have next is pattern index. It will give you the index of pattern. So instead of a character, you can actually get the index of pattern. So subscribe CodeWithAbby for all technical stuff. So CodeWithAbby starts existing from place number 11, and that's why you see these. Replace will replace the characters. So I'm going to replace all D with T. So you see that CodeWithAbby will be all D all D have been replaced by T. And likewise, replicate. You can replicate number of this particular string as many times as you wish. So hello get display. And this will reverse. So reverse will reverse the string that you supply. This is for a space. Stuff will stuff that, like SQL tutorial. And instead of SQL, I want to put HTML. So what it says that in this string, it starts from here and replace this many letters by this one. So in SQL tutorial, 3 letters will be replaced by these 4 letters HTML. So now answer should be HTML tutorial. And substring gives you the substring from the big string. So it starts from 1 and 3 letters. So what should it get? It should give us SCOD. So COD is the answer. So these are all about the string functions. Let's go for number function. The first is ABS, will give you absolute value. Whether it is minus or plus, it will give you the absolute value. Average should give you the average. So we have something called area square feet in flat master table. So I want to see the average. So average, this can give you the average. Ceiling gives you the upper value. Let's say 55.1 should give you the 56 value. It gives you the upper one. So if anything is after the point, and likewise floor is the lower one. So it should give you, even if it is 55.96, it should give you 55 here. Rounding can be rounded like 55.45 and 55.55. So it can round it for you. Likewise count. If you want to count something, like how many records are there in main master table. So you can write like count star. So this will give you the 20 as a count. And likewise we have sum, which will give you the sum of all values that you supplied. Area square feet, total area square feet is this. Like we have max, which will give you the maximum value, and it will give you the minimum value. And likewise we have a square root. Make sense? So these were all about quickly number functions. Going for the date function. Date function, this will give you the local date. So you see this current date is that 19 September 2022, and the timing also. So it will display the current date like this. You have something called UTC, so it will give you the current UTC time. This will give you the current time stamp. And date diff says that you supply 2 dates, and within these 2 dates, if you want to, let's say DD, so basically it will find the days, number of days difference between these two. So you see that this is 10th of September and this is 19th of September. So how many days are there? 9 days. So you can see the days. Likewise, you can find the difference with year also. So year should be, by the way, 0. The month should be also, by the way, 0. Date of the parts. Date from parts. So basically you can form date. So you have to supply year, month, and day, and you can form a date on the out of this. This will give you the day name, like I'm supplying MM, and it will give you September out here. Date part is again an important, and it will be mostly used in many of your queries in future. So if you are saying MM from the current date, so it will show you month. If you say DD from the current date, then it will show you the day. If you say YY, it will show you the year. So these are the date functions. They are very useful. They will be used in queries mostly. Going to the advanced functions, we have something called cast. So if you are to display some report or visualize some data, wherein you have something called in integer type, and you want to concatenate with some string, so you can actually cast. So 555 is an integer, and you are casting it to varchar, and then you are concatenating it. Make sense? You can see 555 some text here. Likewise, there is a other way to write cast is convert. Here you don't have to write as. You simply supply in which type you want to convert it, and then value, and this will convert you. See that 25, that fractional part have been removed. Colas does what? It basically checks for null value, and if there is any null value found, then what it does is basically replace with the value whatever supplies. So I am getting all the record from my residents. So you see here it is null. So wherever it is null there, I am trying to do, I am replacing that, not any comment. So this way you can do. Current user gives you the current user, and likewise IIF will give conditional value. So if I had it is less than 1000, so it should give you yes, right? It is very much similar to colas. So is null. Likewise the colas, it is a session user will give you the current session user, and likewise you have system user will give you the current system. So session user is just giving you DBO, and username will also give you the username. So these are all advanced functions that we have talked about. With these, I am wrapping up this episode, and I am pretty much sure that the kind of functions that I have discussed with you are pretty much clear to you. You need to utilize these functions in coming episodes, and as soon as you will start writing complex queries. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Subscribe for more updates. Comment or write us at mailtocodewithabby@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.